Vic XL. And just like that, once again, it's on.
And just like that, once again, it's on. It's your boy Vic XL. This is the Ridin Durty Show. It is Monday, March the 26th. 4-day countdown till I hit that Panama City Beach. And speaking of Panama City Beach, I want to let you know all about our sponsor, Dr. Juice Cleanse. That's right. Dr. Juice Cleanse is an all-natural cleanser. All-natural cleanser. Number one, it promises that you can lose up to 25 pounds in just 10 days. Now tell me, who don't want to lose 25 pounds in 10 days? Me, I want to lose 25 pounds fast as I goddamn can. Whether it's 10 days or 30 days, I want to lose 25 pounds. But not only can Dr. Juice Cleanse help you shed pounds, it can also help provide stress relief. It can also slow down the aging process. It can also provide pH balance. pH balance. Now, hey man, but a product can do so much and it can do so many other things. But if I tell you every single thing Dr. Juice Cleanse can do for you, then you have absolutely no reason to go to drjuicecleanse.com and find out about the product and hopefully become a consumer, hopefully become a client and get yourself healthy and get yourself feeling really, really good. Also, one time for our brand new sponsors, right? A brand new sponsor. Shouts out to Overflow Cafe, overflowcafe.com. Now, let me tell you about Overflow Cafe because I know a lot of people who listen to this show are entrepreneurs, business people, entertainers. Overflowcafe.com is a web company that will help generate traffic to your site. If you're trying to sell products, if you're trying to get listens, if you're trying to get views, well, overflowcafe.com is the company for you because what they can do is drive traffic to your site. No more of the companies lying to you, telling you what they can and can't do. I promise you, overflowcafe.com can definitely drive traffic to your site. And not only can they drive traffic to your site, but they can pinpoint it. Like say, if you're from Griffin, Georgia, and you want the people of Griffin, Georgia with websites to come to you, they will do the proper research and data to stimulate your site to people in your area and drive the traffic to you. That's why I said also entrepreneurs, because if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to reach a certain target market, overflowcafe.com can do that for you. Now, I want y'all to visit overflowcafe.com because I don't want to sit here and babble on about all the great things they can do because it might not work for you, but I promise you, if you're trying to get a presence on the World Wide Web, you want to cut down some years in the grind, in the hustle and bustle, then go to overflowcafe.com and, hey man, become a client. Low prices, low subscriptions to get started and get on your way to getting the web exposure you need. All right, so remember, the two sponsors of the Ridin Durty Show, overflowcafe.com and Dr. Juice Cleanse. I promise you stand behind those two companies. And when you visit them and you decide to make a purchase, tell them Vic XL and the Ridin Durty Show sent you. All right, let's get into it. Today, again, is Monday, March 26th, and I got to say happy birthday. I got to send birthday shouts out. You know what? I'm going to start off this time by saying happy birthday to my Facebook friends first. First of all, I want to say happy birthday to Craig Gardner. She is head of PR company and marketing company, Red Delia Marketing. We've done business together over the years over at WRFG. And one time for a happy birthday to her. I also want to say happy birthday to rapper C-Rob the Champ. So if you know either one of those, or they're your Facebook friends, or you know them in real life, like I said, my girl Craig Gardner runs Red Delia Marketing Company. And my man C-Rob the Champ has definitely been doing this thing on the independent scene for a while. But if you know them, wish them a happy birthday. Now on to celebrities today. First of all, happy birthday to the boss, Miss Diana Ross. She turns 74 years old today. Happy birthday to the boss, Diana Ross. I also want to say happy birthday to Von Miller of the Denver Broncos. He turns 29 years old today. I also want to say happy birthday, last and not least, but to R&B singer, songwriter Eric Bellinger. He turns 32 years old today. So if you know any of these people, or if you know anybody who has a birthday and want me to shout them out on their birthday, you know to hit me up on my Facebook page. Or if you know any of these people, definitely wish them a happy birthday, and hopefully they're enjoying their day. They're about at the halfway point, but hopefully they're enjoying their day and doing their thing. All right, now a little bit of hip-hop industry news. First and foremost, I cannot say enough about this movie, Black Panther. I cannot say enough. Black Panther just keeps doing his damn thing. Black Panther now has officially become the number one, I repeat, the number one hero movie of all time. Now, I'm telling you, I had no idea when this movie came out. I knew the movie was going to do well, but I had no idea that this movie would do this well. But like I said, the number one grossing hero movie of all time. No Superman, no Batman, no Avengers, no Fantastic Four. No. Black Panther. Number one in your history books. Mark it down. We did it. If you had a chance to go see the movie and didn't like it, then go back again because you probably missed something. But again, one time to Black Panther, the entire cast. One time to everybody out there who's seen it, who didn't fire stick it, who didn't bootleg it, who spent their hard-earned money like me and my wife did and went to see the movie. Hey, man, it makes me feel very, very good that this movie is doing so well. And hopefully it will now greenlight a lot of movies for African Americans, for Hispanics, for minorities who are trying to do things. Hopefully the support for this movie will definitely greenlight other movies in the future. Now, also in hip-hop news, it seems like my man T.I. is not going to let up on Lil Xan. You know, Lil Xan, some weeks back, he was being interviewed by a magazine, and he said Tupac's music was boring. Since that time, Waka banned him from hip-hop. T.I. has banned him and said he's disrespectful of hip-hop artists who paved the way. Lil Xan has been performing California Love during his shows, but you know what? T.I. is not buying it. He said, you still fake, you still phony, and you still not doing your thing, son, and you still banned. You need to pay respect to the people that has paved the way for the music. Now, you know what? I don't know, because I'm iffy about the thing. I do understand that younger generation need to know the history of hip-hop and need to pay respect. But I'm not so mad if this 19-year-old kid think Tupac's music was boring. Hell, he might not have never heard Tupac music. He's 19. He's more affected by Soulja Boy. He's more affected by Lil Wayne. So, you know, I understand T.I. that he got to pay homage to somebody who paved the way, but then again, we don't even know how much T.I. this man listened to even, for it even to matter. You know, I'm going to be very honest. We don't even know. We don't even know. One time for my man there, no one knows how to say his name, so I'm going to mess it up. One time for my man XXX Tentacion, his question mark album debuted #1 on the Billboard 200 chart. Now, it's people out there who've never heard a damn song by this guy. But, hey, man, #1, XXX Tentacion. One time also for my man T.I., if y'all don't know, my man T.I. and Killer Mike have formed a power circle in the real estate game, and they just purchased the old building that had Bankhead Seafood in it. So, one time for them, man. For real. They're finna bring back the historical Bankhead Seafood. So we're gonna see what that's all about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I got so much hip-hop news here that I can be going over. Another woman came out and said Russell Simmons raped her, and she wants $10 million. $10 million she wants from Russell Simmons. What? $10 million? For real? Shawty. Well, you don't want to go to jail, you want $10 million. You know what? You know what? I'm not even gonna talk about that. That's hip hop news. We've had hip hop birthdays. You heard about our sponsors. We're 10 minutes into the show, and it's time for you to bring our guests, because you know what we do is bridge the gap between hip hop and everyday life. We've given you what's next, but we're giving it to you right now. There are a lot of imitators, a lot of duplicators, but there's only one. There's only one Ridin Durty show for the past 15 years giving you the real of the real. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, with no further ado, on the line we have R&B neo soul artist Mr. Mic L.Shawn. What's going on, my G?
Hey, what's good? What's good? How y'all doing?
Man, hey, it's a weird weather day here in the A. How about you?
Wow, man, I tell you, it's the same up here in VA.
All right, so let's get this thing crackling. I don't want to waste no time, because when this interview is done, I want the people to feel like they know Mr. Michael Shawn. So let's start off by letting the people know where you're from.
Well, I'm here from I'm actually here from Virginia. I live right outside the D.C. area, the D.C. metropolitan area, and just trying to do my thing and represent my area, you know, to the best of my ability.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your musical influences. No, before we get to your influences, what made you even want to get into the music game?
Oh, wow. I mean, artists like Luther Vandross, Marvin Gaye, you know, the classics, you know, Teddy P, people that were writing music that made you feel some kind of way, made you feel special, made you want to, you know, actually go somewhere and give somebody a hug, or, you know, go find a loved one, you know, that kind of. So that's what really kind of got me back into, you know, music and really wanting to, you know, shed a different light on the music scene.
All right, do you remember at what age you started getting into music as a singer and a songwriter?
Oh, wow, yeah. I think I might have wrote my first song when I was a teenager, like I was 15 and 16, something like that. You know, a little high school love tune, you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah, but, you know, for the most part, I've always dealt with real life experiences. And as I got older, each new experience led me in a different direction as far as the music.
All right. When you were in high school and you was writing that song, did you use that song to help to impress a female, or was it just something you felt from the gut that you needed to do?
Oh man, let me tell you, you know, going to school back then, I mean, you know, you had all these artists out there, like, you know, H-Town and Jagged Edge, and, you know, Boys to Men. I mean, really, all that good music that was out there at the time, it was more or less trying to just impress a young lady with, you know, maybe my vocal skills, and hopefully they liked what they hear. You know, sometimes, you know, you gotta, you know, in order to be charming, you have to show charm. So, there you go.
How well did that work? Because I know being able to sing in high school, it got to be better than dunking a basketball or scoring a touchdown.
Well, I mean, here's the funny thing about it. I was actually, you know, a high school athlete. I played 3 sports. I played football, basketball, and baseball. So, for me, you know, being able to sing was just a little extra something. However, you know, wasn't tall enough to really get up there to dunk a ball. And, well, let's just say my 40 time wasn't, you know, sub, you know, 4-4. So.
All right. So, did you ever have to sing the national anthem in any of your high school games?
Oh, all the time, actually. In my senior year in high school, I didn't play on the varsity basketball team. So what I did was I volunteered to sing the national anthem at each of the home games. Now, the irony is that at the high school I was attending, they won every game except one, and that was like a cross-town rival. But they went on to, you know, the state finals, and unfortunately, I think they lost that year. But, I mean, you know, it was pretty promising. It was almost like I was a little good luck charm, you know?
All right, that's definitely what's up. So, in high school, you're writing, you're singing. At what point did you decide to take it serious? Was it after high school? When did you say, you know what, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to affect people?
Well, when I realized that I could sing, and actually people liked hearing me, I made it a point then to try to find an avenue to get discovered. But the thing is that when you're trying to get yourself out there, you know, self-promotion is not always an easy thing. I've never been, the bragging type, so I would always have to find people to say, hey, that guy, Mike, he's real good, he can sing. So that's kind of really how I had to go about that. And then after college, I attended Virginia State University, and, the music department there was amazing. And, during my tenure there. And so it was a matter of really just trying to shine and try to get myself out there and, just to be heard not only at the collegiate level, but try to maybe get heard on a regional or maybe even a national level. So, doing talent shows, any type of showcases, anything that would have allowed me the opportunity to take the stage and, be able to perform. So,
all right.
The hunger was always there, yeah.
All right, you also said that you was using because you wanted to get discovered in your path of pursuing the music career. What are some of the highlights? Wow,
I had an opportunity to open for Jagged Edge and also for H-Town once. That was the real highlight. Getting a chance to be a featured artist on a number of different showcases. Recently, I got a chance to perform the national anthem at a breast cancer walk, and that was really fascinating. Just to be able to take part in such a a charitable occasion, it was really a blessing to be a part of it. So yeah.
All right, look, because I know your music is a mixture of classic R&B and neo soul. For my fans who might not know, explain what actual neo soul is.
Well, neo soul is basically neo soul to me is being able to present R&B on a more personal level. A lot of times you'll hear with neo soul artists, you hear about things that aren't typically expressed in R&B. It's you're talking about love, you're talking about hate, or you're talking about sadness or whatever, but it's more so on a real personal level. Myself, I'm considered a hip-hop R&B artist with a neo-soul feel and a jazz flow. So I kind of give you the best of a number of different worlds.
Hey, man.
But it's mostly about, wordplay and the ability to connect with your audience.
All right, so does that mean that you have to have a serious ear for hip-hop as well?
Of course. I mean, because hip-hop is part of the culture. So you got to be able to have an ear for hip-hop. You got to be able to have an ear, of course, to the streets, as well as, an ear to what's going on in the world and what's going on in society. So, yeah, of course.
All right. Because, I've always said, I don't know, you remember the big neo-soul emergence when you had Chico DeBarge, who put out a classic neo-soul album. You had D'Angelo, Angie Stone, and this can go on and on. I always felt like those artists... I always felt like those artists were half rappers, half singers, because their stories felt so damn heartfelt and so truthful. I related to them like rappers.
Exactly, and that's the whole point of it. And the thing is that when you really sit down and think about it, even most of your collaborations are all with artists who are both that come from that neo soul scene, and also with some of your major hip hop pioneers. I mean, think about some of those classics, everything from, the collabs with Chris Brown now, or the collaborations with D'Angelo back then, or, just think about it, or even with Trey Songz. If you really look at it, even the scene now versus even way back then, it was always a blend of hip-hop culture within the neo-soul community, and, well, the only thing you got out of that was great music.
All right, and I love that era. And there's still great neo-soul artists out here. For some reason, I don't know why they're not getting the exposure they got some years back. But I just always felt like neo-soul was damn near locked into arms with hip-hop. So, in being an independent artist, how tough has the road been for you?
Well, the road has been tough because, again, it goes back to being able to promote yourself, to be able to put yourself out there, to people who are willing to, of course, invest in your skill set and your ability to present your talent. Personally, I mean, I'm very confident once the opportunity is presented, of course, but it's about being able to build your audience to the point where people are willing to invest in that talent. And of course, that's where self-promotion comes into play. Of course, now we have a number of multimedia items that we can go by to utilize there. But of course, now, again, you can use YouTube and you can, use, Facebook or social media to assist with that. At the same time, though, you still got to be able to target, the right people and get to the right audience to be able to do that. It gets yourself in a place where, you can maximize your exposure.
All right, I definitely can dig it. So what's your take on today's R&B music? Because I'm going to be very honest. When I listen to R&B today, I sometimes feel like I'm listening to a rap song. It teaches me how to get high, and it teaches me how to sleep with somebody else's girl. I no longer hear people talking about love. I don't hear about black love. I don't hear about marriage. I remember back in the day, and I'm a little older. I'm not old as hell, but I'm a little older. But I remember there were songs about the times. Marvin Gaye sang about what's going on. We had songs about basically wounding a woman till she became our wife. Man, we had songs that really meant something that we could grow up by. What are your feelings on today's R&B?
Well, I think what's happened is that crossover into some of our hip hop culture, even within artists, within the artists. I think a lot of times, some people that are fearful of trying to take on that responsibility because they don't want their artistry to get frowned on based on what it is that they're presenting. So, it's like you want to keep your street credibility, but at the same time, you still want to put out quality music. My take on today's R&B is more so about really just assessing what it is that demonstrates talent versus what doesn't anymore. And it used to be a time where you thought like, hey, this artist could sing, that artist can sing, and then you get in arguments with your friends as far as like who sounded better, or but unfortunately nowadays it's a little more crafted, I guess is the best way I can put it. It's not so much always based on talent, but it's more so based on your ability to connect or how large your audience is, and not necessarily what is being presented. So, I mean, hopefully, things are on its way back where, you have artists that are out there, your Charlie Wilsons and your Fantasias and your Jennifer Hudsons in the world that are skilled, vocalists, and there's still, of course, a large demand for that. So I'm just trying to get in that mix,
Now, have you noticed that today, it seems like today, it's hard to find a rapper who doesn't damn sing. Do you feel like today the rappers are the R&B singers because, of course, we know how Drake, we know, hell, you never know what Kanye's going to do, and then a lot of the new artists, I'm hearing more melodies than bars. Do you feel like the rappers are shoving the damn R&B singers out the game?
Well, I think when you had that era where you had a lot of rappers that were singing their own hooks, back in the day where, like the Ja Rules, Where Would I Be Without You, and, those things, I think that kind of opened the door for, that entire concept. I try to be a student of the music and of the culture at the same time. And, when you really think about it, it's a matter of how you create the music and its ability to relate to the people who listen to it. So, what that then said was that, okay, well, maybe I don't have to be a great vocalist in order to have a great hook. And a lot of times that's what people, built their careers on as of late, is sometimes that's just what's necessary. That doesn't stop it necessarily from being good music to someone else, but what it does is it opens up the door of possibilities where somebody might not necessarily have to bring in, they wouldn't have to bring in a Chris Brown or a John Legend or somebody like that to do a hook, and they could just try to just mumble or sing over top of it, and then have it altered, vocally in the studio, and then there's your hook. So it's just a measure of how you want to go about creating the music and who you want, engaged in your audience.
All right, I definitely can dig it. All right, Mr. Michael Shawn, what is going on in your life today? Like, what product? Because I know we're about to drop this record, This Game Loves or Lies. But what's going on in your world today? Like, is there a project on the horizon? Is there music we can download? Let the people know.
Well, of course, Game Love Alive, that's definitely available for purchase through social media, different social media networks, iTunes, Google Play, the works. Myself right now, I am back in the studio working on some things, trying to piece together another project, collaborating with any and every artist that certainly comes my way as far as trying to make good music, and that's really what's been going on as of right now. I'm also looking to make my way back down to the A, to do a couple of showcases here and there. I went down there not too long ago. I came through Atlanta. I want to say it was about 4 months ago. So yeah, so I'm definitely trying to make some moves, make some things happen. I'm also looking to head out to the Houston area, as well as Memphis, and actually right here in the DMV. So I'm working some things out with that. So yeah, so I got a lot going on. But at the same time, hey, I'm willing to work with any and everybody. So that's really what I'm looking to do. And hey, I'm always available to make that happen.
All right. Speaking of being willing to work with anyone, drop your information where if people want to get in touch with you, especially via social media, or how people can, keep up with you and become fans and friends.
Oh, of course. All right. Well, you can look me up on Instagram with MIC_L_SHAWN. You can also reach me on Twitter at MIC, middle initial L, SHAWN. You can reach out to me also on Facebook with the same artist name, MIC, middle initial L, SHAWN. And also you can email me at
90 seconds.
LSHAWN@gmail. I stay checking my email, so yeah, definitely hit me up, and let's try to make some things happen.
All right, Michael Shawn, I appreciate you coming on the show. Do me one last favor. You know what? Hold on, because I just got hit. I just got hit in my inbox, and I just realized my biggest supporter today is her birthday. And man, I tend to put people on the spot, and I'm not gonna make you any different. Her name is Miss Extra. Can you please sing happy birthday to her?
Oh, not a problem. All right. As a matter of fact, here we go. We're gonna do a little something like this. We're gonna keep it romantic. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Miss Extra. Happy birthday to you.
Michael Shawn, I appreciate that. Please introduce this record to the people.
10 seconds.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is your boy, Mic L.Shawn, presenting to y'all Game Love Alive. I hope you love it.
Let's get it. Mic L.Shawn, Ridin Durty. Let's go. Happy birthday to you. Rolling in the club, babe. One Friday night. One time for everybody on the Facebook check-in. D. Cruz, what's happening, partner? My man Chosen, what's good, G? My man Double A cashing them sound exchange checks. Out there working, out there grinding. My man Doc Wiley. Appreciate y'all on the check-in, man. It's 5:30 a.m. in the p.m. Y'all be doing any damn thing, but y'all rocking with the Ridin Durty Show and your boy Vic XL. That joint make me want to get old Pimp hat. Get my little gangster limp on. Michael Shawn, people. Y'all go check his Facebook page out and hit that like button. What y'all know about that right now?
That sister pill got me on cloud nine. She feel my swagger, that's about that time. But before I let her in my life, I gotta know that it's time. Nothing got me feeling, watching. But then again, I get another shot then. Take her out to the floor, baby, try to come and work it, cause I need some more. Somebody out there would tell me, another thing that's so gotta get it right this time. We played that game one time before. Seen her walk right in and right out the door. Can you feel me? I can see my brother and feel me. My brother, I don't wanna be no waste of time. Cause I need me a woman I can call on mine. Can you feel me? Can you feel me?
Hey man, this song made me want to suck on this song. Y'all don't hear that bass line. Do y'all hear that bass line? Can you dig it? One time for my man Mic L.Shawn. Definitely doing his thing right here on the Ridin Durty Show. And we out this thing, man. Love y'all. I'll be back. I'll be back soon, do you know it? Man, the Ridin Durty Show. As always, I thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all visit www.ridindurtyradio.com if you missed the show. Check out any streaming outlets, Spreaker, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, blogtalkradio.com. Check us out on beatbreakradiofm.com. Man, the replays of the show is everywhere, and if you can't find it, just hit me up, Victor Big Vic XL Walker on Facebook, or do me one huge favor, one big ass favor, and go to Ridin Durty Radio on Facebook and hit that like button. All right, it's your boy Vic XL, man. I'll be back in about 24 hours. Hey, man, love hard, and we out. Peace.